Previously on Chemical Guys Flashback.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Chemical Guys Detail Garage. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this Subaru BRZ. We had it in the shop a while back, but life hit it. It's neglected, it's trashed. We are gonna show you guys how to properly restore it. Do you think we can restore it? Comment down below right now. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. We are finally inside the garage with the beautiful neglected BRZ. And by that, I mean just by simply washing it and clean up the wheels, the car looks amazing. It gave it a new look. But now that we're actually looking closely at the surface with my ultra bright light, I go ahead and see that the surface of the paint is very severely scratched up. And not just that, it actually has overspray. And by that, I mean, if I actually get my hand and I actually come very close, you guys could hear how much contamination that's on the paint. And what ends up happening whenever you actually have contamination on the paint, it gives it this rough-like texture to it. And another thing is, it's basically penetrating the surface of the paint, which is causing any glazes, sealants, or waxes to wear off and gives it this ugly, dull look to it. If I look at myself in the reflection, I look very boggy. This is actually a newer car, so I don't think it should be in these terms of conditions. So before I actually go ahead and polish out the surface of the vehicle, I'm actually gonna go ahead and clay it out, just so I can go from this to a smooth-like texture to it. So I'm gonna do a very small portion right here, just so I can give you guys a crazy before and after. I'll go ahead and tape up the surface. I already went ahead and cleaned it up outside by washing it. It's right there. And I'll go ahead and get my tape over here. So this is gonna be the little square I'm gonna be working on, and I'll show you guys how to properly remove contamination, or in this occasion, overspray from the surface of this beautiful neglected BRZ. The choice of clay I'm going with today is the OG clay bar. The reason why I recommend going with the OG clay bar, it's because the OG clay bar is a light to medium grade. So in this occasion, I will go ahead and try it out. If it doesn't remove it properly, then I'll go ahead and bump up a little step higher to the medium duty clay bar. So before claying the surface, open up your clay bar. I went ahead and got a new clay bar. And what a lot of people tend to forget is to remove this plastic on here. So before claying, never go like this. Remove the plastic from both sides. And then all you want to do is cut off a very small portion of the clay bar. This clay bar can do up to 7 to 10 vehicles if used properly. And by that, I mean you cut off a portion, you clay it off, and you put the new portion back into the package. Because what ends up happening, if you use a whole entire clay bar on one car and you drop it, you have to go ahead and toss it out because it is like gum. If you drop it, you would have to go ahead and throw it away because it's going to pick up anything that was on the surface of the floor. So check out this piece. This piece can go ahead and do this whole entire BRZ. I still have this piece left behind, so I will go ahead and repackage it up in its beautiful box to go ahead and ensure no contaminants or grime gets on the surface of that clay bar. So before starting it off, I always like to roll it up into a ball, and then I will pat it down to a frisbee-like shape to it. The perfect width that I like to work on is a 3-finger width. By that, I mean the clay bar fits perfectly on my 3 fingers. Still not ready. And you can stretch it out. This is a very stretchy clay. You go ahead and put on your fingers. And clay is very sticky. So if I put it like this, it's not gonna fall off. And in conjunction with my clay bar, I'll be using clay luber. The reason why I recommend using clay luber and not any other quick detail spray, because say for example, you have VO7 in your Chemical Guys arsenal, it's a very expensive quick detail spray to be using to clay. Also, this is built in with synthetic lubricants in it versus Hybrid V07 has a sealant in it. So you don't want to go ahead and waste a very good detail on a clay. So nonetheless, go to the surface, spray it down with the clay luber. Never be stingy with the clay luber. By this, I mean, go ahead and saturate the surface. Make sure you cover everything so you never go ahead and rub a clay on a dry spot. Spray your clay, and all you want to do is just go side to side. If I actually come close, you can hear the contamination coming right off. And over time, you'll start feeling that the paint is going to go ahead and get smooth as glass. If you have never felt a glass, I recommend getting your phone right now, and I'm pretty sure the phone screen of your phone, if it's not cracked, is very smooth. That's how your paint's supposed to feel. So I'll go ahead and do a small portion, and I'll go ahead and check out my clay bar. If I flip over my clay bar, you see all this brown spot. That is all contamination that is coming off of this beautiful neglected BRZ. Because what ends up happening, all this is contamination. Just imagine like your face. If you don't go ahead and clean up your face, you just keep applying lotion to your face or sunscreen, over time you're just building up so much and you're not properly cleaning it. So this is like, say for example, the lotion on your face that you need to remove to get an extra clean surface, a bare surface. So I'll go ahead and knead it to a new side, and I'll go back. Same exact thing, clay it. I'll rub it side to side. Never go in circles, because if you do go in circles, you have the chances of picking up any rock chips or contaminants that may be in the air. And if you do pick them up and you start rubbing them into the paint, you can cause a swirl mark. Fun fact, a straight line is actually easier to polish out than a swirl mark. So work it back and forth. And you can hear the contamination coming right off. And I'm not applying any type of pressure to it. So I'll go ahead and flip over my clay bar, and you see it came back, all the contamination. That is very, very heavy. So again, go ahead, re-knead the clay bar, push it down, and get back to claying. So I'll go ahead and clay bar this whole entire section right here, and I'll get back to you guys whenever I finish. So we're back. I just went ahead and got my TORQ 15 DA and my V34 and my orange pad. But before I start, do you guys want to see how this car looked before, when it actually was a show car and actually was well taken care of? Let me give you 3 seconds. All right, you guys just went ahead and saw that crazy before. Do you guys think I can restore the shine back to how it really was once? Let's go ahead and find out. So before I start, I'll go ahead and put my compound to the side. I'll get my orange medium heavy cutting pad, center it directly onto my pad. The reason why I recommend centering directly on your pad, because you want an even spread and you don't want this bagging plate to be over the edge of the pad, and whenever you come to a crack, it might go ahead and scratch it. So let me go ahead and wipe it down, just so I can make sure. I also did add an extra tape line, just so I could go ahead and stay in boundary whenever I'm polishing. So I'll be using V34 compound. V34 is actually a very, very heavy cut. It's our second to heaviest cut we carry. So this occasion, I am sure I could go ahead and use V34 because I already tested out an inconspicuous spot before doing the whole entire vehicle. So before you start off, shake up the product. Once it's shaken up, open up the spout, and you'll go ahead and apply 5 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You'll go ahead and close out the spout. And before I actually go ahead and attack the paint, go ahead and get your pad conditioner to moisten your pad and keep it lubricated to reduce the chances of you scratching up the surface or marring it or even causing pigtails. So I have towels down here. Let me just wipe it right off because I did get some spray onto the surface. And now it's good to go. Let me go ahead and put the cord over my shoulder. I'll go ahead and spread out the product on speed setting 1. Then I'll bump it up to speed setting 6 to work in the product till it turns clear or translucent. So spread it out. And the reason why we recommend spreading it out is because if you do not spread it out and you just go crazy with it, it splatters everywhere. You want to be looking more professional, keep your area neat. So let's get to it. So turn on the machine, speed setting 1, spread it out. Now that the product has been spread out, it's time to bump it up to speed setting 6 and work it in until it turns clear or translucent. So now that I actually worked the product in until it turns clear or translucent, I'll go ahead and get a clean microfiber towel to remove any excess. I'll go ahead and work it side to side. And wow, guys, just by me doing V34, you see a crazy difference. By that, I mean the bottle is reflecting now compared to this side. Let me just wipe it down. The bottle does not reflect. You can't even read 34 on it, and that's the lime green part. But I want that extra push, that extra luster of shine. So I am gonna go ahead and refine the finish using V38 and a white pad to give it that extra push and that extra shine, extra wow factor. So I'll be back, let me get them real quick and I'll polish them out. And we're back. I went ahead and got V38 to go ahead and enhance the shine even more. Whenever you are working with a compound, I always recommend refining it using a finer polish to bring out the lustrous shine, especially on a dark color vehicle. So same exact thing, shake up the product and you'll go ahead and apply 5 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll be using the white pad because the white pad is a light polishing pad. I don't want to use a too aggressive pad like the orange pad or yellow pad. I'll go ahead and link down below on this video a pad chart. So if you have any questions about our polishing pads or compounding pads or glazing pads, the link will be down below. So before I get started, same exact thing, get my polishing pad conditioner, 2 sprays, and now I'll go ahead and put my cord over my shoulder, blotch out the product, and then spread it out on speed setting 1, and then work it in on speed setting 6. Before I forget to say anything, or before I forget to say this, whenever you're actually working the product in on speed setting 6, you always want to go over the pass you just went over. And by that, I mean, whenever you're working with the pad, you'll go sideways, 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 then come halfway down, then go ahead and follow it throughout the whole entire steps. Why? This is going to go ahead and give you guys an even cut around the whole entire vehicle. Because say for example, you go, and you come down here and you go, you have the chance of missing this minor stripe. But whenever you actually have a detailer's eye or you go ahead and get a little bit more professional, you'll notice everything in your paint. So go ahead and turn on the machine and check this pass out and I'll show you guys. Just by doing that pass, you can see I overlapped the last pass I did. The first pass was right there, the second pass was right there. Go ahead and do that over the entire vehicle to go ahead and get an even coverage. So now it's actually time to reveal the shine that I achieved using this 2-step process. Put my machine down right here. I'm excited because I actually like seeing a big before and after from this to something like this. But now let's unveil it. Go ahead and get my clean microfiber towel. Make sure there's no tags on it. Fold it in 4s for the best size, the most size possible. Get it, and I'll wipe in one direction. And wow, guys, this is amazing. This is a crazy before and after. Check out this reflection. I'll go ahead and get my V34 bottle I was using as an example. Clarity and dull, neglected. But now it's the light test. Let's go ahead and test it out using the light. Go ahead and test. See this side, it's dull compared to this side. Check that out, guys. That is crazy. Crazy before and after. So now I'll go ahead and remove the tape line so you guys can get that even more wow factor to it. Peel it off. And check this out, guys. Wow. I think we actually did bring back the shine how this car once was. But guys, now I'm actually gonna go ahead and call Joey over because I have to polish out the hood, the roof, the trunk, the side doors, everything. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and apply a ceramic. And guys, last but not least, time to apply a protection to this beautiful BRZ. Now it's not neglected, it's beautiful, it's polished, so now it's time to protect it. So before I actually begin applying HydroSlick, I'm actually gonna go ahead and use Wipeout to remove any oils that the compound or polish left on the surface, just so I can make sure my HydroSlick bonds perfectly onto the surface without it wearing off within 12 months. So I'll go ahead and spray it onto the surface. You'll get a microfiber towel and you'll just be wiping in one direction. This ensures you remove everything from the surface of the paint so you get a proper bond from whatever you might be applying. Either it could be a glaze, a sealant, a wax, but in this occasion I will be applying a ceramic like HydroSlick. So work it back and forth. And a common question we always get is, can HydroSlick be applied by machine? And that is no. You cannot apply a ceramic coating with a polisher. The reason behind it is a polisher is moving constantly. Yes, I understand it's mimicking the hand motion, but here's the catch. A true ceramic is gonna go ahead and harden on you. And by that, I mean, if you forget to wipe it off over here, it's gonna harden on you right there. You're gonna have to repolish it out. So that's why we recommend taking it a little bit step further, using your hand to glide it on. But let me just go ahead and get this rest of the hood wiped down with Wipeout, and I'll show you guys how to properly apply HydroSlick. So I just finished wiping down the surface with Wipeout. The reason why, like I told you guys, I want to remove any oils that might be sitting on the surface so I get a proper bond from HydroSlick. And how I was telling you guys that you cannot apply it on with a DA or rotary because it'll harden up on you. So before applying a ceramic coating, always be sure to shake up the formula to mix all the SiO2 properties inside. Then you open up the spout. What I like to do is apply 1 dot, 2, 3, 4. 4 dots, and you'll go ahead and blotch it out in an area so you won't get it, you get an even coat. So I'll go ahead and start side to side to go ahead and get an even coverage. And the same exact thing that is applied to polishing is applied to when applying a ceramic. you want to go ahead and go over the pass you just finished up before to get an even coverage. Once you let it sit, go ahead and get your microfiber applicator and cross hatch it. This ensures a proper application to the surface of your paint. And also guys, here is a question that I personally receive a lot on social media whenever I'm answering you guys' comments. Yes, we do try to get to everyone's comments. Is Henry or at Chemical Guys, how long do I let HydroSlick sit on my surface? So the honest truth is it all depends on your weather. If the weather outside is super sunny, super hot, go ahead and let it sit for 30 seconds to a minute. If the temperature outside is super cold and windy, go ahead and let it sit from anywhere from 1 minute to 2 minutes. So it all depends. In this occasion, it's kind of sunny outside. We're in a controlled environment. So I went ahead and let it sit for like 30 seconds to a minute. I'll go ahead and move my applicator, get a clean microfiber towel, and buff it right off. And look at that. It comes off with no elbow grease. Simply wipes right off. This is why I personally love HydroSlick. It's a gel-like formula that gives it amazing hydrophobic properties and enhances the color, especially on this beautiful BRZ. It's going to sit outside, so it's going to be protected from the harsh elements. Whenever you're done with this panel, you move on to the next panel. This is why I didn't say I'm going to go ahead, coat up the whole entire hood and come back. No, you always want to take a ceramic coating very seriously because it can hard on your paint and you would have to go back in your steps to reapply it. So once you finish applying it, you'll go ahead and do the same exact thing. But keep in mind guys, this applicator already has some type of HydroSlick on it from this application. So you're not going to go ahead and apply 4 to 5 dots. All you want to do is apply 2 small dots like so. You put that down and the same application is going to go ahead and be applied. Because keep in mind, HydroSlick was already on the applicator and you do not want to oversaturate it, because whenever it comes to removing it, anything that gets removed off the surface with a towel is going to go ahead and just be excess. So a very fine thin layer is always recommended when applying HydroSlick. Don't overdo it. And also guys, HydroSlick can not just be applied on paint. It can also be applied on wheels, glass, headlights, chrome, and like metal surfaces. So always go ahead and treat HydroSlick like so, side to side, cross it over to get an even coverage. And whenever it comes to applying either a glaze, a sealant, or wax, we recommend allowing HydroSlick to cure on the surface for 3 hours. But no, I do not mean let it sit on the surface for 3 hours. I mean, go ahead, let it bond, remove it. Once you remove it, keep your car out of the harsh elements. By that, I mean water, contamination, fallout. So if you do have a garage, park it in a garage, don't move it for 3 hours, then apply either your glaze, your sealant, your wax. Because yes, that is correct. A ceramic like HydroSlick or HydroCharge can be topped off with one of your favorite glazes, sealants, or wax to enhance the hydrophobic properties that your ceramic coating might need. So that's why guys, we recommend topping it off. Now that I let HydroSlick cure on the surface, I'll go ahead and wipe it right off. So guys, I went ahead and coated up this BRZ. I am gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of the car. So guys, if you guys like this video, give it a big thumbs up, comment down below what type of video you wanna see. And guys, if you guys wanna pick up any of these products, head down to your local detail garage or hop on our website, chemicalguys.com, and we will see you guys next time right here at the Chemical Guys Detail Garage.